In this video, I'm sharing 7 life-changing but also really doable, really actionable morning routine ideas. Starting with idea number 1. You want to get some movement in, but sometimes you're not that motivated in the morning. You'd love to get a hot girl walk in, but like putting on sunscreen, putting on a hat, getting all the gear on to go on a walk, some days you just don't feel like it. Enter the house walk. You stand up in your pajamas, you set a 20-minute timer on your phone, on your Google Home, and you walk around your house for 20 minutes. So usually during a house walk, I like pick things up and then I move like this. It's like I'm dancing around. And if I need to pick anything up off the floor, I'm doing like a squat situation. If you want to get even more out of your house walks, here are some house walk theme ideas that I have been using. You can also use these for your regular morning walk. Number 1, the whine walk. As you house walk, pretend that you're talking to the universe, an entity, the air, whatever your thing is, and simply pick something that you feel whiny about and complain. But do it in like an exaggerated, playful way. For example, you might be like, why me? Why would you give me this annoying email from Kathy that I have to respond to today? Usually by the end of the walk, you take yourself and your problems way less seriously, which personally I think is a better way to live life. Number 2, the tidy walk. I actually do this a lot. I tidy my whole house, but I always am moving while I tidy. So I'm getting my movement in and I'm getting my tidy in. Number 3, the planning walk. Get your phone out and talk to ChatGPT. Talk through all the things that you need to do in your day. Ask ChatGPT to create like a prioritized list for you or a plan for your day if you're that type of person. Idea number 2. Olivia Rodrigo released her first album and obviously like it was so good. But afterwards she struggled because like her first album was so good. How is she gonna follow that up? So she read the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And there's a practice that Julia Cameron recommends, which is morning pages. Olivia would get out her journal every morning and she'd write out 3 pages of stream of consciousness journaling. And this habit was actually a huge part of her creative recovery that led to the album Guts, which was just so good. 3 pages of free writing in a journal feels like hard work, which is why idea number 2 is the lazy, or some would say more efficient, version of morning pages. Audio journaling, talking into your phone, on your commute to work, or as you do your makeup and get dressed. Talking out loud into your phone is such an effortless thing to add into your morning routine, like at any stage. Talk therapy is a thing for a reason. Sometimes just talking things out can lead you to have insights. You tend to filter less because you don't have the added effort of having to write down your thoughts. They're just coming out. And also, if you are audio journaling while you do something mindless, like putting on your makeup or while you're driving, it's like a part of your brain is already engaged, so you're less self-conscious and you're just more honest and raw. Idea number 3. I have some pretty predictable morning moods and I imagine that you also do. Some mornings I get up and my cat woke me up for time, tired, kind of grumpy. Some mornings I wake up and I'm so motivated and I just want to get stuck into things straight away. Some mornings I wake up and I am stressed, I have things to do. Like, these moods are pretty predictable. And different moods call for different morning activities, which is where a morning menu can come in handy. You could just get a menu template off of Canva and you could create a slow, cozy morning menu. You could create a get things done, I'm a little bit stressed morning menu. You could make a I woke up late and I'm panicking morning menu. And you can also write little messages to yourself for the different moods on the different day. Idea number 4. My favorite kind of mornings are the mornings where I have like a brain buzzy experience. I have insights, I somehow shift my thinking, which is why idea number 4 is to learn while you eat. While you eat your brekkie, pop on a little short form book guide. They have books on anything from productivity to self-improvement to money and finance. Short form book guides are actually really detailed. So you get to hear the key, most important points of each book really in depth. And what I really love is that there are interactive exercises that come with each book. So you're not just like listening passively, you can also choose to, after you read or even during your read, reflect and decide how you're going to put things into practice. Another thing that I love is that they have smart insights. So they will connect an idea from one book to an idea in another book. And that helps to embed your learnings and make them even deeper. So right now I'm reading the book Flow, which I have already read before, but I read it and I was like, damn, this is so good. And then I was like, what do I do with it? So I'm on short form reading the book guide and they have the interactive exercises that help me to reflect a little bit more and decide how I'm going to put stuff into practice. I can do the little journaling exercises alongside relearning like the key ideas within that book. In the book Flow, something that I really love that the author talks about is how your ability to enjoy an experience directly correlates with your ability to concentrate on the activity without worrying about yourself, without really having any thoughts about you. Short form drops new book guides every single week, and as a subscriber, you get to vote on what books you want the most to cover. By joining through my short form link, shortform.com/muchelleb, you will get a free trial with unlimited access and an additional 20% off discount for an annual subscription. Idea number 5. This habit is going to sound really weird, so let me first explain by talking about a concept called diminishing marginal utility. This idea has made a big difference in my own life, and I also talked about it in my video on how to stop wasting time, which I will have linked down below. Diminishing marginal utility basically says that the more you consume something, the less you enjoy it, the less pleasure you get from it. For example, in one study, a whole bunch of people were given equally sized bits of chocolate, and after each piece that they ate, they were asked to rate their experience, like how good it tasted. So after like 10 pieces of chocolate, for most people, they weren't really enjoying the chocolate. It was no longer anywhere near as exciting. But when we're on TikTok or Instagram or even Netflix, while we do usually experience that exact same effect, we don't notice it because apps are designed to be so addictive, kind of like chocolate, that we barely are paying attention to how we feel. We can sit on an app like TikTok for like an hour before we notice like, oh, that feels bad. I don't want to be doing this. Which leads to the next idea, which is actually not about cutting social media out of your morning routine. It's about mindfully using social media, like planning in mindful social media time in your morning. So if right now you have a habit of waking up and hopping on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, instead of trying to cut that out, have a timer that goes off every 5 minutes during this media time. And at those 5-minute marks, pause and write down answers to all of the things on the screen. How much you are enjoying yourself, rate it from 1 to 10. How present and calm you feel, rate it from 1 to 10. How satisfied you feel, and any feelings or thoughts that you notice yourself having. So you are not stopping yourself from doing anything, you're just noticing more as you do the thing. If you do this for like 2 weeks, you will be shocked at how much it will change your relationship with media. If you do it for like a month, your relationship with media may be transformed. Idea number 6. If you've ever set goals in your life, like you have set a goal to be a more productive person, to be a happier, more calm, whatever person, you've probably also maybe gone down the rabbit hole of visualizing, which is a thing in the like self-helpy industry. Maybe you sat down and you visualized yourself like effortlessly ticking off to-dos and easily getting started on reports that you used to procrastinate well ahead of the due date. And you probably noticed that it didn't really make a difference. And then maybe you blamed yourself because you were like, well, I just obviously didn't believe enough. Like this works for other people, I'm the problem. But it turns out that's actually not what is happening. You're just visualizing wrong, which is why this idea is about visualizing, but visualizing differently in a way that actually helps and is useful and is easy. In one study that was run by Gabrielle Ottingen, she studied 25 women. Heads up, this is a weight loss study, a lot of them are, so if that makes you uncomfortable, skip to the next timestamp. So these 25 women signed up to a weight loss program and they wrote down how much they weighed, how likely they felt it was that they would succeed. And some of the women were told to sit down and imagine their success. So they saw themselves in the mirror and they were like really slim and fit. They pictured themselves passing by the donuts in the break room just effortlessly because they were this new woman. The other women were asked to imagine themselves resisting temptation. So they would imagine themselves seeing a bowl of candy in the break room or a donut in the cupboard or a packet of chips, whatever. And they were told to imagine what they could do when that would happen. So after a year, the women who pictured themselves just slim and trim and amazing, effortlessly glazing by the donuts, lost 24 pounds less than the women who pictured themselves having trouble resisting candy from the bowl in the break room. Obviously, 25 women, a small study, but she has replicated these same findings over and over again. Visualization works, but it only works if you use it to practice stuff. So the second group of women were actually practicing. They were practicing a new reaction to the donuts. And people who imagine themselves playing piano have been shown to get better. People who imagine themselves, shooting free throws over and over again, they get better at it. And the same goes if you practice yourself reacting to donuts in different ways, you can get better at it. And there are so many behaviors that you can practice in your mind that you can get better and better at. Like you can practice not snoozing your alarm. You can practice saying no to the colleague that just loves to delegate. You can practice resisting the urge to check your phone every 10 minutes. The only thing that you need, like the ingredient that's kind of essential, is to be able to recreate the feelings that you would actually get in real life in your mind. So it feels like real, genuine practice. And all you have to do to integrate this into your morning routine is to have a period of 5 minutes where you can picture yourself doing stuff. Like you could even do this as you brush your teeth. Idea number 7. While you get ready, fill your mind with mini reminders of the important lessons in life that maybe you've learned once, but like you forgot about and you need to be reminded of. I always think about this in relation to church church. Like, people go to church every single week to learn lessons that they already kind of know, but they just need to be reminded of. I'm not religious, by the way. Like, this is not me putting religion on you, but I just think it makes sense. Like, yeah, you can know things, but you need to be reminding yourself of them regularly. And I like to do this with little affirmation tracks where you can listen to an affirmation track and repeat things out loud. You could do this as you get ready, as you're cooking your breakfast, as you're wandering around the house of a morning. All you have to do is hit play, repeat after the person. Scaffold, don't lie. Instead of saying to yourself, I am confident, when you know, like, you got some confidence struggles or you're in a confidence wobble right now, but you still want to feel more confident, you can scaffold. You can say, my confidence feels wobbly right now, and I'm gonna refocus on what I can control to get it back. My confidence feels wobbly right now, and I know I'll feel confident after I make a few changes. My confidence feels wobbly right now, and this has happened before and I've gotten through it. I always bounce back. And the last idea of this video is all about planning your day, which I could spend a whole video talking about, and I have. There are so many different helpful ways to do this that aren't just time blocking, so I created a whole video covering sort of alternative ways to plan your day. That video is going to be linked on the screen. 5 ways to plan your day. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you soon.